We interrupt this broadcast of MMA to announce the President of the United States is officially Donald J. Trump again, and critics are saying it's because the left can't meme or some shit.
God.
In other news...
What a wild way to start the day. Like, literally, first thing in the morning. Hey guys, so I've been hearing winds from across the seas that the left is looking for their own version of Joe Rogan because they feel like they can't connect with men. And, you know, as a kind of gay guy, I feel like I'm perfect at connecting with men. At least better than with women. As you may have seen in that completely real, unscripted, and accidental filming skit intro, I don't know, me and Joe Rogan have a lot in common. I also love steak. However, as a truly enlightened man, I don't go near any of that fucking rare or medium rare pink shit. I cook my shit through like a real man. When cavemen figured out fire, it was to cook their food, right? Cook it, not to leave it raw in the middle like some kind of primitive fucking dog. You know what they say, if it ain't great, you're gay. And before you get mad at me, remember, we're meant to be letting people say a few no words every now and then. Besides, I've got the pass. Don't make me prove it. I love watching MMA. You know, admittedly, I only got into it because all my friends watched it and I didn't, so I'd be a bit lost when they were talking about it. They'd be like talking about like Mighty Mouse or some shit. And I'd be sitting there like, true. Is that sort of like Scooby-Doo or something? But now I fuck with it heavy. Smoking weed and talking about cool animals or aliens. That's literally all I want to do with my life. That's it, that's all I want to do. I have conversations with absolutely anyone. I mean, my two best friends throughout high school were a bi Hispanic dude and a fucking Nazi. And no, I wasn't just seeing double while kicking with Nick Fuentes. Conspiracy theories? Hell yeah, brother, hell yeah. I was yelling about how pedos and elites ran the world way before any of that Epstein shit came out. And then that Epstein shit came out and I had a little bit of a mental breakdown. Now I can't stop noticing patterns, wacky or trippy beliefs. You're talking to a guy that literally believes that mushrooms and jellyfish are godlike beings, where mushrooms are the most animal-like plant and jellyfish are the most plant-like animal, both being the originators of all different forms of life on Earth as they predate most of the other plant or animal life, symbolizing a sort of yin-yang alignment between the different various forms of life within our world. Unironic, by the way. Hunting. Not gonna lie, I don't really fuck with hunting. Not with like guns and shit. I like fishing, so surely that counts. Now sure, me and Joe Rogan do have a lot of differences. He's quite short and built like a brick shithouse. I'm relatively tall and built like a fucking twig. But I feel like this opposite dichotomy sort of works with the left-right aesthetic, you know? Wait, is Joe Rogan a conservative? Have we fact-checked that yet? He's got a bunch of money and likes smoking cigars. I've got fuck all money and like smoking cigs. He likes whiskey, I like beer. And really cheap wine. Anything over $4, that's too much. He's mates with Elon Musk. I'm literally petrified of him. He gets to talk to all these cool and unique people with unique perspectives. I get to talk to people inside my head. He doesn't fuck with trans people. I'd fuck a trans chick. Pre or post-op, I'm a free spirit, baby. I'm like if Joe Rogan and Duncan Trussell had a bulimic child. I'm like Ted Kaczynski if he did too many drugs. I'm like if Joe Rogan did the wrong kind of drugs. I'm like Andrew Tate if he struggled to get pussy and instead found empathy. I'm like Ben Shapiro if he got bullied in high school. I'm like Jordan Peterson but still on the benzos. I'm like if God got drunk on the day of making me. I'm like J-Reg with worse social skills. I'm like Joe Biden if he had schizophrenia instead of dementia. I'm like Donald Trump if he had brainworms instead of being a rapist. I'm like Bernie Sanders if he had schizophrenia instead of cute gloves. I'm nothing like Scott Morrison. The Yanks probably won't understand that one, but I'm just clarifying for the Australian audiences. I'm like Hassan Piker if he wasn't a pussy. I'm like Adam Friedland, but with more insecurity. I'm like the Bug guy from the movie Bug. I'm like Piers Morgan if he wasn't a dipshit and British. I'm like Bill Maher if he wasn't a I'm like Bill Clinton if he wasn't a I'm like if he wasn't a I'm like AOC if she was less hot. I'm like if Slender Man didn't fuck with kids. I'm like a Chinese guy if he wasn't Chinese. I'm like Sam Hyde because I also think Jews rock. That one's up for interpretation. Whatever you read into that one, that's correct. Whatever you personally believe and feel about the Jews, hell yes, me too, brother. I'm like the Joker. I'm like Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. I'm like Beetlejuice from Howard Stern. I'm like if Matt McCusker and Shane Gillies had their brains conjoined and then put into the body of the rake. I'm like if a gay guy was retarded. Clearly, I'm the perfect candidate. So vote for me in the 2028 US presidential elections where fucking podcast host is an official cabinet position or some shit. Because that seems like the direction that things are heading in. Or whatever.
You seem to be forgetting about a very important quality, Jack.
Who the fuck said that?
The voices.
Oh, true. Well, what is it?
I think you know.